Hey, also in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the top 5 SMGs you want to be using right now on Rebirth Island after the update. There was quite a bit of weapon tuning, a lot of nerfs and buffs, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Before we do, shout out to Noti Gang. If y'all would like a notification shout out in my next video, subscribe with notifications on, drop a like, and watch the video from beginning to end so I know who to pick. Without further ado, man, starting off, number 1 loadout. For my first loadout, we got the Bullfrog. This is the weapon I was using in my world record gameplay I uploaded a few days ago, and I never gave you guys a loadout. So starting off, Groove Suppressor. Very standard. You get sound suppression so you're off the radar. Vertical recoil control, making the weapon easier to control. We get bullet velocity and damage range, which basically maintains the power of the Bullfrog at longer range gunfights. For the barrel, we got the Task Force. Again, you're getting more damage range and more bullet velocity, but in my opinion, what's even more important is that strafe speed. So you can move side to side incredibly quick. It makes it so hard for the enemies to hit their shots on you. Next, for the laser, I love to run Tiger Team, man. You get movement speed and aim walking movement speed. You feel incredibly light on your feet. Again, this is going to be our secondary weapon. You want to feel fast. Next, we have the stock. I love KGB skeletal stock, but I recently switched over to Spetsnaz PKM stock. So you get firing move speed, aim walking movement speed, and ADS firing move speed. And then keep in mind, we also got that stray speed from the Task Force barrel. So again, you are so fast on your feet. It makes it so hard for the enemies to shoot at you, especially if they're on a low sensitivity. They won't be able to keep up with you. And then finally, I love to run Serpent Wrap for ADS speed. I don't know why, but the ADS speed, even after all the attachments we threw on, it's a little iffy. So make sure you throw that on. You don't need a magazine. It already has a large magazine. But there you have it, man. This is the Bullfrog setup I was using in that world record gameplay. Again, give this a go for yourselves. It was awesome. Moving on to loadout number 2, we actually have the Lapa. This is kind of slept on, man. It's really easy to use, and it's just reliable, to say the least. I think it has awesome power, just awesome mobility on it, so let's build it. Starting off, we have the agency suppressor, just like we did with the Bullfrog. You get that sound suppression, vertical recoil, bullet velocity, damage rates, the exact same perks that we had on the Bullfrog, which is great. For the barrel, there's 2 ways of going. Now, you can go ahead and throw on the rifled barrel where you get damage range and fire rate, but I don't, man, that damage range and bullet velocity going down is just not it for me. I definitely want to maintain my bullet velocity, so instead, I threw on the BR compact barrel. You get more damage with this, and you also get a little bit of recoil control, which I really, really like. I'm telling you, man, it's an oddball attachment. I know it, but hey, do not knock it till you try it. I think the BR compact is way better than the rifled barrel, so that's just me. Moving on. Iron sights are chizzied, man. They are terrible. You're gonna need an optic, and I love the Microflex LED. It's like your basic red dot sight. It's the cleanest out of the rest of them. If you don't like this one, I think Millstop's your best, next best option. Trust me with the Microflex LED, though. It's awesome. The iron sights are terrible, so you need to figure it out. Throw something on there, man. Next, for the stock, I like Raider stock on this. You get ADS firing move speed, aim walking movement speed, and then you get sprint to fire. So my weapon comes up a lot quicker after sprinting, which I think is a necessity with this, because naturally it comes up slow. It's a little bit of a slower SMG, so I think this comes in handy. And then for my last and final attachment on my Lapa, I have on the Salvo 45 round fast mag. Now, the reload is so slow. You could do the 50, but again, it is just way too slow in my personal opinion. And the 45 is so quick to reload. It's perfect. I think 45 is more than enough bullets, so rock the 45, and there you have it, man. There is a Lapa build. Again, very underrated. I don't see a lot of people using this on the island. Get your hands on it. Moving on to loadout numero 3, the MP40. Now, this actually did get buffed in the patch update, surprisingly, because they recently nerfed it, and then they buffed it again, so there's a whole lot going on. Starting off with my muzzle recoil booster, we get an increase in fire rate, which means our weapon shoots quicker, and that usually does lead to a faster time to kill. For the barrel, this is where it gets a little tricky. They actually did buff the Krosnik 317. They increased the bullet velocity on it, so if you're going to use this as a sniper support, you want to use this barrel. But if you're using the MP40 specifically for close range engagements, the short barrel is still the move. You get damage range, you get that bullet velocity, and limb damage. It basically just makes this thing a powerhouse of a weapon. For my next attachment, we got the optic. I really, really like the slate reflector. If you don't want to use the slate reflector, you mess with the iron sights. Do the ISO 1M. For me, I went back to the slate reflector. I play way better with it. For the stock, I rock the Krosnick 33M folding. You get sprint to fire speed, movement speed, just a little bit better mobility on the weapon build, and you know, we're definitely going to need that. For the underbarrel, I went with the M1941 hand stop. You just get better recoil control, so it makes it a lot easier to use, and you land a lot more shots because you know, you're going to be accurate, especially with this on. For the magazine, the Gorenko 45 round, it's the move, man. You get some recoil control, great, makes my weapon accurate. I get movement speed and ADS, so that increases my mobility. And then I get a power increase on my MP40 with the fire rate. It leads to a faster time to kill because there's more bullets coming out a lot quicker. So we got the fire rate increase on this and the recoil booster, which is awesome. That's why this is the best magazine. I know you'd lose some damage and damage range, but I think these pros make up for it. For the ammunition type, you're going to want to go with lengthened. Hollow point was nerfed. I personally still use it because I only use this up close, but I think lengthened is probably the better option, statistically speaking. But me personally, I love hollow point, so we'll go with lengthened just because it's statistically better. For the rear grip, polymer, man. Anytime you're in a gunfight, your weapon's just a little bit more accurate, which is awesome. I think this is the best rear grip on any Vanguard gun, so make sure you got that on. And then for perk 1 and 2, first, we got brace. The first few shots that come out of our MP40, they're going to be laser accurate. Again, this thing is just built for accuracy and mobility. It's so good. And then finally, for perk 2, we got quick. Increase in sprint speed. You just feel so much lighter on your feet, which is great. And there is your MP40 build that you want to be using after the most recent weapon tuning update. Moving on to loadout number 4, the OTS. Dude, this thing is still incredible, and nothing has been done to it in such a long time. I was actually running around with it just a few days ago. I'm like, bro, no one is using this anymore. So I got to give him my new build. So starting off, we got the Goose Suppressor. Same as the Bullfrog and the Lapa, man. I don't really need to explain it. It's literally just the best muzzle on any Cold War weapons. Same with the barrel, man. I mean, we're rocking the Task Force. We get the damage range, the bullet velocity, and stray speed. We're not rocking Tiger Team Spotlight, man, and I'll explain here in a little bit. But our next attachment is going to be the Spetsnaz stock. I usually do rock KGB skeletal stock, but just like the Bullfrog, I changed it up. I really love that strafe speed. I think that's what makes the Cold War weapons, specifically the Cold War SMGs, so good. I just love being able to strafe, and it throws the enemies off guard because they just cannot hit their shots. For the magazine, you're going to want to go with the VDV 40 round fast mag. A 40 round in the OTS, man, it's really not a lot. So you got to reload very fast because you're going to be reloading quite a bit. This is the best magazine option, in my personal opinion. If you're not rocking it, you're missing out. And then finally, for the rear grip, Serpent Wrap. The last thing that was nerfed on the OTS was actually the ADS speed. It's so rough, man. So you're going to need to run this. Other than that, man, if they never nerfed it, I'd probably be rocking like a Bruiser Grip or the Tiger Team Spotlight, but you need Serpent Wrap. The ADS is way too slow without it. When you throw this on, it makes it just so much better. And that is my OTS 9 build that you want to be using. Like I said, man, this thing's still an absolute powerhouse. Throw it on. You won't be disappointed. Moving on, loadout number 5. We got the Fennec, the Fennec, the Vector, whatever you want to call it. The TTK on this is absolutely incredible. And this has never, ever been nerfed to my knowledge. So the first attachment you want to rock on this thing is the ZLR Deadfall Barrel. You get everything, bro. You get damage range, which means it takes less bullets to kill at longer ranges. You get recoil control, which makes this thing easier to use and control. We get bullet velocity, and then sound suppression. We get sound suppression with our barrel, so we don't need to throw on a monolithic suppressor. We don't need to waste an attachment. We got the muzzle and the barrel, boom, together. Awesome, great start. Next, for the stock, you need a rock no stock. The mobility is torch. It is trash on this thing. As you can see, the mobility bar goes up a lot. You get a huge increase in movement and ADS. This is like basically all you need for movement. It is perfect for the mobility. For the magazine, I ain't gonna cap the magazine size. It's a little small. You only get the 40, so you want to throw this on, man. Every bullet counts, especially if you're pulling like trios or quads. You got to rock the 40, man. It's a necessity. Moving on to the rear grip, I got stippled grip tape on. If we take a look at the magazine real quick, you do lose out on ADS and movement speed. So just to gain a little bit of that back, we got stippled, we get ADS, and then sprint to fire. So my weapon comes up quicker after sprinting. And then my final attachment on the Fennec, the Fenny, the Vector, again, whatever you want to call it, we got, not heavy hitter, we got sleight of hand. Like I said, man, the 40 round, yeah, it's cool, but you better be reloading quick, just like that OTS 9. So this is the Fennec setup you want to be using. Now, That's all 5 loadouts, but I got a little bit more for y'all, man. I'm gonna give you guys some perk suggestions. Not many people do that for y'all. This kid right here, I will. So moving on to the perks, if you're someone who plays incredibly aggressive and you want to get high kill gameplays, I think double time is the best. This is what I use all the time. I have never taken this off. I love getting from point A to point B as fast as possible. A 30% increase in tactical sprint, which is awesome. If you don't really care for that, you just want to win more gunfights and just stay alive longer, I think quick fix is perfect, because every time you play, you gain your white health back and you just regen after every kill. So it's just easier to always stay max health, which is awesome. Other than that, I don't think the other 4 perks are really worth it. If you are that unlucky and you keep dying to explosives, go ahead, rock EOD, beat my guest. For perk 2, I always run overkill, so I can always have an AR or a sniper and then an SMG or whatever I want to rock. But if you're more of like a pistol dude and you just like to run around with that, I think tempered's great because you only got to plate up twice. Or you could do restock, so you can get your lethal and tactical a lot quicker, and you never have to kind of look for them again or look for new ones. You always just have them on you because they're recharging pretty much. Other than that, I really think those are just like the 3 best options: overkill, tempered, and restock. And then the perk 3, I always run amped, man. I love swapping from my primary to my secondary really quick. Like anytime I land on my weapons again and I'm missing a perk, I need this one out of all of them because I just love swapping back and forth. Combat Scout's also really good if you visually just can't see that well. And I think those are probably the 2 best third perks. For my lethal and tactical, I got throwing knives to finish down enemies. I don't gotta waste ammo. And then stim shots are really, really good for those crazy plays, really situational to get away from enemies, or if you're in the storm, you gotta catch up. Again, they are just the best tactical to be using. I don't think heartbeats are really worth it. It's a small map. You should know where people are. Pop them UAVs. Go buy those. I say the same thing in them top 5s, man. That's pretty much it, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys all stay safe. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in tomorrow's video. Doses.